5'9" with the real red eyes, and we dying inside. Oh, bodies in fluoride.
What is good, y'all? This is JV, and here's another episode of my favorite singles. As the title suggests, this is a series where I basically go through various songs that have released recently that I've been jamming to and that I suggest you check out. So let me go through my list. Let's start off. We're gonna start off on a little K-pop today. We got Mamamoo's new single Woo Hoo. Big fan of Mamamoo. Been following them since debut. You know, they've always had an emphasis on strong vocals, man, and I gotta say, since their 2 mini albums and now their full-length album, they've been dropping track after track, you know, full projects that are just incredibly dope, from the production to the vocal stylings. And here's another lighthearted, fun single that they dropped with an accompanying music video that I really enjoyed. The girls were looking absolutely gorgeous, so I highly suggest you check out Mamamoo's new song. It's fantastic, you know, from production standpoint. On the second half, it transfers to a more trap styled beat when the rap kicks in. Big fan of the rap. I think that the transition from the normal beat to the trap, you know, rap beat towards the end is a little sharp for my taste. I would have liked if it was a little bit more organic feeling, but that, you know, that's just a small little thing that I had a problem with. But other than that, really enjoyed this track. Next we have Loco. You too, big fan of Loco, man. Feels like I've been waiting for a hot minute since he's dropped, you know, some new stuff. Big fan of his last album. It's like Locomotive or Locomotion or something like that. Really enjoyed a lot of singles from that project. And so I didn't really know what to expect from this. I wasn't sure if he's gonna go for his radio sound, some trap stuff. This one we got a down-tempo, smoother track with some really fantastic vocals. Shout out to Cha-Cha Malone there, you know, who helped put this track together, and Loco absolutely killed it, man. This is definitely a vibe-based piece. It's smooth, it's sensual, and it's not what I expected from Loco in the slightest. So I really highly suggest you check that out, especially if you're a fan of you know, Korean hip-hop and especially the AOMG stuff. Next we have ASAP Nast, Twelvy, and Rocky with their newest single, Presidents. Pretty interesting take. They dropped this on SoundCloud. You know, ASAP Mob has been up to some really dope stuff, man. I know Ferg's project is on the way. They have a label project on the way too. So, you know, ASAP Mob is absolutely killing it right now. And basically, they basically jump on the Dead Presidents beat, beat that we've heard sampled and flipped a million times. But I really enjoyed their take on it. You know, this is just rich with mid-90s East Coast grime kind of feel to it. Really loved it. You know, real guttural kind of approach to it. Each MC really brought their own kind of styling and flavor. And I really want to give a shout out to Rocky, man. Wasn't sure necessarily what kind of Rocky we're gonna get, but he stood, you know, organic to himself. And what I've always been a fan of Rocky's is his versatility and his ability to jump on more aggressive tracks and then really, you know, pull it back for, you know, to talk to ladies or something like that. Big fan of Rocky. So check that out if you're a fan of, you know, the Beast Coast movement and the ASAP Mob. Next we have Lupe Fiasco's Express. Been making a lot of you know, big buzz since he dropped this. This is basically Lupe rapping over the Panda beat, and also the Panda beat was used on Father Stretch My Hands 2 Part 2 on Kanye's latest project, The Life of Pablo. So finally we get Lupe Fiasco's take on it, and basically he's rapping about Panda Express on this one. So it's kind of a humorous, interesting take on it, but it's absolutely fantastic, man. It's basically filled with a whole bunch of food related bars, but he absolutely murders it. You know, when you're dealing with Lupe, you're gonna get, you know, a talented MC's delivery. And gotta say, man, he delivered an absolute banger here, despite the fact that it has kind of an unconventional, kind of quirky, humorous kind of vibe to it. Next we have Doki's Bad Vibes Only. Big fan of Doki. Y'all know that I try to support, you know, everything Doki does. Liked his last album too. I've had a long, out of all the rappers I've been listening to in the Korean game, he's probably one of the first that I started listening to. Been putting out lots of tracks, lots of features lately, and here's his latest track. Really enjoyed this one. Was really happy to see Dean on the chorus there, and I thought Dean added an added level of, you know, just depth and you know, soul to the track. Definitely had that kind of like early 2000s southern feel with some 808s and kind of like that electronic cowbell kind of sound to it. Really enjoyed this, man. Doki was really chilling and vibing on the beat. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic track. I love when Doki does tracks like this. You know, Trapper Doki is really dope, but I really enjoy when he, you know, takes the tempo down a little bit and delivers something a little bit smoother. So Doki's, you know, Bad Vibes Only. Next we have N.O.R.E. with Moments. N.O.R.E, aka Noreaga, been killing it for a long time now. And finally he dropped a new mixtape. I think it's mixtape, I'm not sure if it's album, but the mixtape album, whatever, called Drunk Uncle. Really dope project. I really enjoyed it. Showed a lot of love to some, his frequent collaborators like Capone and stuff like that. But also a lot of new guys are on it too, like ASAP Ferg, a lot of East Coast dudes. So I really enjoyed N.O.R.E's newest project, and this is the track that he dropped the music video to, Moments. Really enjoyed the music video. Kind of just cycles through a lot of pictures and moments that he's been through, and I liked how heartfelt, introspective, and kind of throwback it is, but it was done in a very heartwarming, nostalgic kind of manner. Really enjoyed this track. Really enjoyed the chorus on it. It's very infectious. Next we have Kid Cudi's The Frequency. Really excited about this track. I'm a huge Kid Cudi fan, but I wouldn't call myself like a Kid Cudi apologist, that accepts just about anything he puts out. Been a fan of all his projects for the most part, especially Satellite Flight. Really enjoyed, of course, The Man on the Moons. I pretty much enjoyed all his projects, even his Wizard material, his Indica I liked. And then he dropped his newest album, Satellite Flight, Speeding Bullet to Heaven, Speeding Bullet to Heaven, where he kind of took like a 90s punk rock grunge kind of feel to it. Enjoyed a couple of tracks on that, I'm not gonna lie. Wasn't a fan of the project as a whole. I thought it was way too lengthy. The production was dirty, but it wasn't even that kind of like raw punk kind of feel. It just felt like, unfinished, you know what I mean? It felt like a whole bunch of demos. But what was it called? Judgmental Cunt I liked, and Confused. So he had a couple tracks that he released before the fact that I continued liking in the context of the album, but wasn't a huge fan of this project. But I'm also not one of those people who are like, oh, I want old, Kid Cudi back, I want Man on the Moon 3, which I'll be super excited to get when it comes out. But I actually do like his more experimental material. I loved Satellite Flight, man, and that's by no means anything from what we've seen. I actually don't mind his singing, to be honest. Under certain circumstances, with the production right and the vibe right, and depending what he's trying to do vocally, I actually kind of dig it. So this track is definitely a return to form for Kid Cudi. The Frequency. He's back with his old team, and this sounds reminiscent of what he used to do. That kind of like melodic rapping. The flow on this was really dope, man. I'm a big fan of what Kid Cudi's doing, and it's definitely like, I'm just along for the ride. I'm excited to see what he does. I know that Kid Cudi's a very smart dude. He's by no means... A lot of people think he's like crazy and out of touch and he's just gonna, do whatever he wants. But I really feel like he knows what he's doing. He knows that people are gonna be more attracted to this particular sound. But I feel like like Kanye did with Yeezus, sometimes I feel like creatives just need to do sometimes projects for themselves, and I think that's what Speeding Bullet to Heaven was. Sadly, we had to get taken along with that ride, but really excited about this new direction. A return to his old direction, and I really enjoy this track, man. But nothing necessarily new from Kid Cudi. Next we have Shiki's long title here. Do you ever feel a strange sadness as the dusk falls? Okay, Shiki, man, been listening to his music for a minute now. If you're into anime rap, or you're into anime, and if you're into hip hop, I highly suggest you check out Shiki, man. Shiki, hentai dude, there's definitely a couple, anime rappers that I'm a big fan of, and Shiki drops a number of tracks on a consistent basis. He drops, projects here and there. Big fan of his work, man. He kind of ranges from, straight romance tunes to remixes of more popular tracks, to he's really into kind of like talking about sisters and stuff. He's a crazy dude, but I really enjoy his music, and this latest track is a huge change from what he's been doing recently. I have heard him do tracks like this before. This one's incredibly solemn, it's introspective, it's emotional, it's impassioned, and real low tempo, lo-fi kind of vibe to it. It's kind of eerie at the same time. Love this track, man, and I love hearing Shiki kind of do this kind of style. Definitely really suits him. Whether he's, I don't know, comfortable doing songs like this on a consistent basis, but I really enjoyed it, and you know, love Shiki's music. So again, if you're into anime and if you're into rap, please check out Shiki. He's a really dope artist. Next we got Oh My Girls, Liar Liar. Got some K-pop for you guys. Followed Oh My Girl since they debuted. I believe this is their lead track off their third mini album, if I'm not mistaken. Not necessarily anything different from what they've done since debut. Been a fan. Oh My Girl definitely has that kind of like 07, 08 Girls' Generation kind of feel, you know, Into the New World kind of vibes to it. G-Friend definitely got that down, but I'm definitely getting some like A-Pink early GG vibes from Oh My Girl. They have that up-tempo bubblegum pop kind of thing going on for them. And great production on this track. Really fun, light song. Yeah, really enjoyed Oh My Girl. Definitely what made this song something I see myself revisiting frequently is definitely the chorus, you know, liar, liar, liar. I ain't a singer, but I gotta say that's a bop right there. So highly suggest you check that out if you're a fan of girl groups or K-pop. And lastly, we have AOMG's Always on My Grind. From the rip, love the title, you know, the fact that they used the AOMG, that's pretty dope. Loved seeing everybody on one track. Great production on the beat there, and everybody really came to form. Was really excited to see ELO and Hootie on this too. I wasn't sure necessarily if they were going to be there and it was just going to be a showcase of MCs, but no, everybody showed up, did a fantastic job, fantastic vocals, and really want to hear more stuff like this. This song really highlighted the strength of AOMG as a collective, you know what I mean? Definitely not people to play around. A lot of people would leave them out of discussion, you know. They'll mention Just Music, Highlight, Viz Major, but I feel like AOMG is definitely up there, you know, for having some really talented MCs. So those are the songs that I've been listening to lately. I'm gonna read them off for you guys again, and in the description below, I'm gonna have them all listed out if you have any questions. We got Mamamoo's Woo Hoo, Loco's U2, ASAP Nast, Twelvy, and Rocky's Presidents, Lupe Fiasco's Express, Doki's Bad Vibes Only, N.O.R.E's Moments, Kid Cudi's The Frequency, Shiki, Do You Ever Feel a Strange Sadness as the Dusk Falls, Oh My Girl, Liar Liar, and then AOMG's Always on My Grind. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and let me know what you guys have been listening to. Till next time, this is JV. I love you guys. Bye.